he had a very nice and thoughtful, I thought, message for us, which contains 6 things that we can do during this time of unsettling distress from the tradition. So I'm going to more or less offer you the words that he suggested and explain a little bit of them as I go. So he writes, "Whenever faced with a personal or national crisis, it is my custom to go back to the sources for comfort and inspiration. Allow me to share with you a number of biblical and rabbinical insights for the current crisis. The first suggestion is prayer. And he reminds us of the story of our ancestor Jacob, who, as you remember, had to flee home after he stole the birthright from his brother Esau, and his brother Esau threatened to kill him. So he ran away from home, and for 20 years he lived with his uncle, and he gathered a couple wives and many children and lots of property. And then he decides he's going to return home, and now he has to confront again his brother Esau, who had threatened to kill him 20 years earlier. And as our tradition tells us, the night before he was to meet with his brother, of course he struggled with an angel, but he also took 3 precautionary measures in order to protect himself in this time of extreme danger. And the very first measure that he took was to pray to God. And so Rabbi Golinkin writes, when our biblical ancestors were faced with a crisis, they would cry out to God. When Jews are faced with a health crisis, they recite psalms, such as Psalm 120, 121, or 130. And they also, of course, recite the Mishaberach prayer for those who are ill. These evening programs that we're live streaming are part of our effort to offer prayer and hope to our community. But you can also pray at home using your own Bibles or prayer books. We now have a link to the evening service and the morning service from Sidur Lev Shalem on our webpage. You can download it and use it during the month of March and April by the generosity of the Rabbinical Assembly, who's wanting to help us in these times when we can't gather together and use the prayer books in our synagogue. So feel free to download those sections of the prayer book, use selections of them in your prayers at home, and while you're following the prayers that we do on Shabbat here at Beth Yeshurun. The second suggestion that Rabbi Golinkin had was Jewish unity. We are told in the Talmud, Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Bazeh, all Israel, all Jews are responsible one for another. This has always been the strength of the Jewish people, how much more so in times of crisis. And so we have, here at Beth Yeshurun, we have formulated a special Chesed committee headed by Jonathan Bailiff, who will be helping to reach out to those members of our community who may be distressed and in need and try and find out ways that we can help them. But we encourage all of you individually, if you know somebody who may be in need of groceries, medications or something, or even just a friendly phone call, to please reach out. Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh Bazeh, we are all responsible one for another. The third suggestion of Rabbi Golinkin is it's not just about the Jews, of course. We're all in the same boat all over the world. And he reminds us of a famous story that's told in a midrash about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who taught this could be compared to people who were all in a boat, and one of them took a drill and began to drill right under his own seat. His fellow passengers said to him, "Why are you doing this?" And he said to them, "What do you care? I'm only drilling under my seat." And they replied, "Because you're sinking the boat with all of us in it." The entire world right now is in the same boat. If we do not help each other, we are in danger of sinking the entire boat. So it's not just about, of course, our community. We need to reach out to the entire Houston community and do whatever we can to help others and those in need. His fourth suggestion is to leave no one behind. And he suggests that in the book of Numbers, chapter 12, Miriam had a disease. She had caught leprosy, and because of her disease, she was ostracized. She had to stay outside of the camp for 7 days. But the people did not march on without her. They waited until Miriam was able to rejoin the community. And from this we learn that when one person is quarantined, the rest of the community must wait for them until they recover. His next suggestion was that we need to talk to each other. And here's an interesting Talmudic play on words. They quote a verse from the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 25, which says, Da'aga belev ish yashchena, which translates, if there is anxiety in a man's heart, let him yashchena, whatever that means. And playfully, as the rabbis often do, they offer two interpretations of that Hebrew word. One rabbi says that he should put the anxiety out of his mind. He should bend his mind towards something else, while the other says that he should discuss it with others. Indeed, Rabbi Golinkin writes, some people deal with the crisis by putting it out of their mind, but most people find comfort in talking about it with other people. So reach out to other people, offer words of comfort and support. Let us all try and comfort each other. And in this day and age with modern technology, we can do it by phone, we can do it by Snapchat, we can do it with Facebook, FaceTime. We can do all kinds of different programs and ways to reach out. And of course, as you just got an email from us, we will be doing distance learning as well using Zoom technology. And finally, Rabbi Golinkin suggests continue to have hope. From Rosh Chodesh Elul until Hoshana Rabbah, Ashkenazic Jews have been reciting Psalm 27, one of my favorite psalms. And the final verse of that psalm is, Kaveh el Adonai, chazek v'ametz libecha, v'kaveh el Adonai. Hope in the Lord, be strong. Let your heart take courage. Yea, hope in the Lord. Indeed, it is not an accident that Rabbi Golinkin writes, that the Israeli national anthem is called Hatikva, the hope, because we are a people who always maintains hope. And so these are several suggestions from Rabbi Golinkin. I will post his message online on Facebook, and we will also post the Psalms that he recommended, including Psalm 27, that you can also recite at home in your leisure. This evening, we want to remember those who passed and whose yahrzeits are today. And so, in lieu of a Kaddish, we recite the following offering. Ribono shel olam, Elohei haruchot v'chol basar, Master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it is revealed and known before you that it is our fervent desire to praise your name and to remember and honor our beloved members of our congregation who are no longer with us. According to our tradition, we would normally recite the mourner's Kaddish in the company of a minyan, but through circumstances prevent us from doing so. May our yearning and prayers find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you as if we had prayed the Kaddish. May you grant hope and healing to all who suffer, and may we soon be able to once again safely gather in holiness and joy. May your name, Adonai, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Tonight, we remember the following names of members of our congregation whose yahrzeit is today: Jenny Brand, Nathan Brown, Samuel Kaplan, David Cohen, Max Cohen, Moise Fishman, Irving Jerome Freilich, Rose Goldfield, Henry Green, Dora Hellman, Samuel Aaron Kaminsky, Irving Kaplan, Molly Kessler, Selim Krinsky, Simon Lewis, Edith Harrison Liebeskind, Isaac Lufshanovitsky, Raphael Moises Rappaport, Manette Evelyn Sheps, Louis Schlossberg, Rosa Ticknauer, and Chaim Dvoroisy. We'll conclude with the last line from the Kaddish, Osei Shalom Bimramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above make peace for us, for all of Israel, and for all the inhabitants of the world. And let us say, Amen. May we all be blessed with a good evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.